Going live. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Even though we have no viewers right now. Special edition here. Breakfast with Bunto and Brother John. And we have on our lovely panel here, we have, of course, Bunto.
Hello.
Hello. We have Frank, Green Sulfie, and Hades, and St. Tommy. Welcome, everybody.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Okay, well let me butt in here and just start off with a bang.
Fabio's in the house.
Hey, Fabio's in, of course. Tell me how the Trinity works, please. Anyone? How does the Trinity work in the basics of Christianity? Can anybody nutshell that?
Oh God, I don't know. Sarah, I'm gonna have to mute you. Okay, you're making some noise there. I've heard.
If somebody held a gun to your head and had to say like 2 sentences how the Trinity works, how does it work?
Oh God,
like a Pop-Tart. It's all yummy.
It's all yummy. That's a good one, Tommy. I like that one.
A Pop-Tart. Yep.
I always used to use the analogies of water. You know that water can have 3 properties, but yet it's still water. You know, liquid, solid, gas.
Okay, that's interesting.
Also, an egg, the shell, the white and the yolk. You know, it's still an egg, but there's 3 parts, and you know.
Okay,
so
would
those
you
kind
say
of
that
analogies,
the bottom line? Sorry to interrupt. Wouldn't you say the bottom line of Trinity is that it's all God?
It's all God, yeah. Right.
Okay. The Christians that don't believe in the Trinity, how does that work, Tommy? I'm a Christian, I don't believe it.
People are double-minded. Beautiful people with beautiful minds are in some ways double-minded at times, and sometimes they don't hold any beliefs at all, you know, when they're unconscious or very drunk. It happens, no big deal.
Do you have a pen?
I feel like we're at the store. Okay, Tommy, so I'm a Christian. I got to believe in the Trinity, yes or no?
No.
Okay, so Jesus ain't God.
Well, the beliefs one holds, one is not required to hold belief by God. He's cool like that.
Okay, Jesus is God.
In my opinion,
yes,
at this time,
I do.
yes.
I'm going up to the bone marrow transplant unit after.
I feel like, you know, we're at the store looking up at the cashier or something.
Yeah.
All right, Fabio, are you there? How you doing, guy?
Yeah, I see Tommy's mouth, but I see Sarah's eyes.
Fabio, okay, Jesus was God, right?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, if I'm a Christian, I'm reading the Bible. Jesus was God.
Hey, Bunto, it all depends on which Christian you ask. You know,
okay, well, why does that? How come it depends? I mean, if the Bible says Jesus is God,
God reveals himself uniquely, incrementally, and he hides. He hides incrementally, but uniquely to all individuals. Everybody is different in how...
I'll give you that, Tommy, but in the Bible, doesn't it say Jesus is God?
Well, it implies it. He says, I've been with you all this time, and you don't know who I am. I tell you the truth. You've seen me. You've seen the Father.
Right.
So I would say, yes, it does imply it. He did claim to be I am. And he also accepted worship from a blind guy that he spit on the ground and made mud and rubbed in his eyes involuntarily.
The blind guy called him Son of Man and Son of God. Okay, Fabio, how can there be a Christian that doesn't believe in the Trinity? How does that work?
I have no idea. I mean, the concept of Trinity, I think it's something that ultimately you got to believe. Because, you know, there are all sorts of nice descriptions, you know. Yeah, there are all sorts of nice descriptions. And I guess they only make sense if you believe into them. I'm not, you know, criticizing them. I'm just saying that if you approach them with the mind of a non-believer, they don't make too much sense. I mean, again, there's nice description, you know, the Holy Spirit is the agave, you know, it's the love of God, and Jesus is the Son, and stuff like that. So the descriptions are nice. I got to give them that. They're really cool. There are some of them that are really cool. But again, I don't think that honestly it's something that makes a lot of sense if you don't buy into it, if you don't believe into it.
The reason they came out with Christianity is because they wanted to go past Judaism.
Okay, good luck with that.
You don't think so? Well, okay, listen, the temple burned down, and so all of a sudden Christianity became really popular. Isn't that basically what happened? I mean, the wheels came off Judaism around the time of Christ, and so that's how come Christianity took off.
I've got a 55-gallon drum of Christianity for sale if anybody wants some.
Okay, Fabio, how do you think Christianity came about? Can you nutshell it?
Well, I think there are people way more qualified than me to describe that. I think it was. I mean, at the time, it was a political matter. I mean,
okay.
It was about. I mean, this movement born in Palestine, and eventually grew up. But I think it was political, basically. A lot of people found Christianity to be a good leverage to get into other problems. At least, I mean, this is the way I see it. And when it finally got to Rome, that's the way it got used by the emperors, and stuff. So,
okay, why didn't the Romans go Jewish?
Too many pagans.
Too many laws. How about too many laws? I mean, Judaism is a very intricate law-driven
are you
religion.
kidding? I mean, it's like, I mean, the Jews were 2 or 3 steps below in culture. So I mean, you don't want to step down. You see,
right.
I mean, you admire higher civilization, and at the time the Romans were the shit. So.
Okay, so they said, oh, did they like Judaism but said, well, we can't go Judaism, so let's kind of go Christianity because it's sort of like Judaism?
No. I mean, the Romans didn't go Christianity. So, Rome became, full of Christians because the Christians got there. But at the time, the empire was already was already falling down.
Right.
So there were other problems. So this is why I talked about politics and social uprisings. But
it was very useful to Constantine, Christianity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It was a way to unify the empire.
Yeah, at the time they're going to use everything against Broth3r to save what was left of the empire.
Okay, he was like 400 years after the fact. I mean, didn't the destruction of the temple have a lot to do with Christianity just showing up?
No, I don't think so. It will be like saying, when the Taliban, destroyed the Buddha's statues.
Okay,
that all the world become Buddhist. I mean, at the time, the Jew and the Palestine was really the bottom of the barrel of the empire. So nobody cared what happened there.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, the things that I'm trying to get with that is that Jesus was the new God. That is a basis of Christianity, that Jesus is the new God. So when we hear a Christian today say that they don't believe Jesus is God, it makes one wonder if they understood the purpose of Christianity. See my point?
Yeah, no, I see that. But I think, as Tommy said, is mostly their problem. I mean, their problem of the people which says he doesn't. He has to justify the fact that that he believes that. And
okay, bro, Joe.
Yeah.
Why didn't non-Trinitarianism take off? How come Trinitarianism took off for Christianity? I mean, you always believed Jesus was God, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what you're taught from the get-go. I mean, coming from a Catholic background, you're taught Jesus is God, the Trinity. From my understanding, I mean, this idea of the Trinity didn't come. The doctrine, at least, didn't come till a couple hundred years later. There were so many different ideas of who or what Jesus was floating around for the first couple hundred years. I mean, you had like the Marcionites. You had Marcion preaching that the Old Testament should be done away with. That's like the evil God.
Right.
Has nothing to do with Christianity. And he was considered a heretic. And then you had all these Gnostics going around saying Jesus never really came in the flesh. It was just an appearance of flesh. He was really spirit. So there was all these different Gnostic ideas floating around till the doctrine was put in place of the Trinity.
Canonized.
Okay, okay. Well, just one thing, Tommy. Okay, when you were still a Christian, did you ever doubt that Jesus wasn't God and still maintain your Christianity?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who can figure it out?
Oh, really?
Who can figure it out? I mean, the reality is so unfathomably mind-blowing that not to doubt God's character is pretty understandable, and not to doubt His character is perhaps childish. Not to doubt, I mean, look at all these flies swarming on babies and things like that, and all these.
Well, Tommy, ever to the point where you would seek out a non-Trinitarian church?
If they had a good chicken dinner, with a love cover, absolutely, and if they were reasonably kind and didn't, call the police immediately upon sight of me, absolutely.
All right, so it's not so important to claim Jesus is God, to go to the mountaintop and yell Jesus is God.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No doctrine is that important.
I think the problem that Trinitarian, I mean, the problem you're going to have with the doctrine, if the problem of Jesus not being God is that then he could not be the perfect sacrifice. And to be a perfect sacrifice, you have to be kind of divine, sinless, without a blemish. So in that essence, Jesus would have to be God to be the perfect sacrifice. Otherwise, he's just some other man.
Okay.
So then that becomes the issue, I think, with the how do the non-Trinitarians reconcile that?
What is their response? Have you heard it?
No, I haven't. I really hasn't even come up. It's a good conversation.
It doesn't come up. It came up in front of us when I was talking with Ermine.
That's a
What'd she say?
I asked her to explain it, and then remember the other gentleman was trying to explain it. She says, well, I've read just as much of the Bible to say that Christ isn't God than that as much as that says that he is God. When she said that, I was like, well, come on. I mean, how can you not want to settle the issue? I didn't get a straight answer, and she accused me of trolling. And I was like, well, I guess you can call that when somebody's just seeking the answer.
It is a legitimate inquiry. How could you come to that conclusion? And how is that comforting, or how is that
satisfactory?
Cogent?
Yeah.
Yeah, how is that cogent to interpret? I ain't getting it. I'll be thinking about that one.
Anyway, so that was one hangout we had, Brojo. Another one was, okay, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Somebody with Fiction Fighter who's like a very militant atheist. I mean, like a little kid, who you have to feed, a baby, she won't open her mouth no matter what. I mean, you tickle her toe, pinch the toe, or nothing, she will not open her mouth to take the spoon. Fabio, when you have somebody like that, I mean, don't you admire their stubbornness?
Yeah, they're the funniest. I totally agree. And I always found that the best tactic is to let them speak a lot. I mean, give every chance for them to speak, because the more they speak, the funnier they get.
Oh, I love fiction.
Yeah, there is some people, honestly, for which, I mean, they say something.
What's Tommy showing us here? Whoa. What the hell?
Tommy.
Whoa! Tommy came into a little bit of money.
Yes, praise the flying spaghetti monster, or whatever it is, for all its tender mercies.
Wow.
Yes.
I can.
Uncle Sam.
What am I doing wrong?
And Uncle Sam.
I like to talk a little bit about those new $100 bills. Once we're off this topic, I could tell you a little about the new design of the $100 bill. It's quite interesting.
Wow, I would hear. I would most likely be mesmerized by that. Yes.
Okay. Well, but we'll finish with this topic first. But yeah.
Okay, go for it, Brojo. Go ahead and vamp on it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, leave that up for a second. It's quite interesting, the new design of the $100 bill. Now, you will notice on the left-hand side, it says Federal Reserve note. It's only on the left-hand side. On the old $100 bills, it was across the whole note. Okay.
Go ahead and present him. You have to present him.
Okay. Let me present. Okay. Now, take it for what it's worth, but the blue strip that is down the middle, now there is supposed to be a chip, a little chip in there.
An RFID
Yes,
chip.
an RFID chip, because for people who are laundering the money, apparently if there are enough of these around, anybody could come around near your area and scan and track to see exactly how many of these things you have.
The Russians invented it, or a
Yeah.
Russian invented the passive RFID chip, that if it's bombarded with certain radio waves, whatever they are, that it pings. So it doesn't need a battery, doesn't need a battery source.
So if you plan on laundering a lot of these, I would not be holding a lot of these $100 bills.
I know they'll never find me.
this one is clean. It is clean.
It looks good.
Hand. It hit my hot little holy hand, and so it's not filthy lucre. Hell no.
The other thing that's interesting is the blue line seems to make a division there, because now you have the gold on the one side with the gold feather, the little gold ink, the quail and the ink drop there. It seemed to signify something to do with the gold standard. I don't know, but there is some kind of significance with the new design of the $100 bill. It's very interesting that the reserve note is on one side now and not on the other, as with the other bills.
Wow.
And yeah.
Did they sneak in the upside down star somewhere? There we go. Okay, what's the deal between the all-seeing eye on top of the pyramid? That's masonry, or is that Satan?
Well, it's supposed to be God.
It's God. Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean,
so it's okay to worship a dollar bill.
Oh my God.
The Illuminati,
They also told me it was Illuminati. There was a masonry or something.
You probably need Serb to get in here and explain that more.
Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad you came into that dough, Tommy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to...
keep it close to your heart. There you go.
Straight to the strip joint.
It is liberty, It is a lack of shame. It can be seen as a lot of things. As art, as beautiful art. It smells so nice. Oh, it is beautiful.
Solves a lot of problems. It gives you a misery you can stand.
Oh, you damn right it will. It'll have all your friends compulsively picking your pocket. It'll freak you out if you spend any of it. It can subject to freak you out. It is a treacherous little piece of art in some ways.
Well, okay. Well, let me ask Fabio something. Fabio is like money.
Spend it wisely. That's all I'm going to say, Tommy. Spend it wisely.
Thank you, John. You do have a PayPal account, I trust.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yes, I do.
Fabio, is money like as what would you say, flash as it is in Italy or as it is over here? Like if you pull out a wad of green like that, everybody's eyes light up.
Well, we got euros around here, and they're kind of flashy. They're more colored, and they're way more interesting than the green stuff from the U.S.
Oh, really?
They are. I mean, just from an artistic point of view, I mean, they're more interesting.
I mean, do you waste your euros on a stripper, or do you waste your lira on a stripper?
No, we don't have lira anymore.
No more lira. Oh.
No way.
So you had to give them euros, right? A stripper.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's impossible to waste your money on a stripper. Oh. Well.
It's right. It's an investment.
I should speak for myself, though. That's my call.
No, I agree with you totally. And just to give you free advice, if you're concerned with the RFID on the money, you got a lot of things to do. I mean, the simplest way is to put it in a microwave, and you'll toast the RFID chip. Or you can you put it in a Faraday cage, and the signal can go out. So that's free advice.
That's what I do with my driver's license when I get one. They have a little chip embedded in the driver's license if you look very closely in my district, and so I usually just microwave it for about 15 seconds. Do you think that's long enough? 15
Oh
seconds.
yeah, no, yeah, it's enough. It's enough. Yeah, is it plastic one or is it paper?
Plastic.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's okay. Because if
Well,
you have paper, another thing you can do, for example, on new passports, you can take a hammer and just punch it,
Mm.
and it's okay anyway.
if it's so easy to defeat, why do they even keep going with it?
Well, because it's convenient. I mean, if imagine you got a bank, you got a machine which counts money. You don't have to separate the bills. You just
Yep.
put all the bills in there, and they count it automatically. It's very convenient.
Brojo?
Nothing. No, none. Yeah,
Nothing.
interesting.
John, how you doing? Are you there, buddy?
Gonna go put my driver's license in the microwave now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Pyong, how much money do you have in your wallet right now?
Hey,
You
Pyong.
got $500 or you got $2?
Let me check. I'm dry. Tommy, I need a loan.
Hey, get in your application fee, and I'll consider it.
Okay, Pyong, how much money should you always go out with if you're going to have money?
Well, see, I personally don't like rolling around with a lot of bread, and that's why I used to be able to say I didn't have any consumer debt at all because I had gotten rid of all my credit cards. I think
Right.
the last credit card I got rid of was like 2007 or something like that. But anyway, then when gas got up to $4 a gallon, I was carrying around like $200 to fill up the tank,
Right.
a couple of times in a week. So I said, "Fuck that!" Now I got a
$200
credit
to
card,
fill your
so-
tank?
Yeah, well, I was going to sometimes I'll go to the city a couple times a week. So
Yeah, because
$4
$4 a gallon is expensive. Yeah.
yeah,
Fuckers.
so I got one, and
Really?
then now, yep.
I mean, yeah, I know, but it's funny that it's astonishing to me that you consider $4 a gallon expensive. It's beyond me.
Right.
At the current,
No,
price around here, you will pay $12 a gallon.
Oh, my God, man.
$12.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, remember,
it's
Go
about
ahead.
it's about 1.8 euros a liter around here. So yeah, it's about $11.
Now,
What's
is most of that taxes?
Yes and no. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of taxes, but there is not too much difference all over Europe concerning the price of gas. You go from 1.5, 1.4 to 1.8, 1.7, stuff like that.
What an ass breaming.
That is an ass ramming.
there are a lot of environmentalists who say that we should have gas prices that high. Do you remember when Shinseki got in trouble? This was probably about 5 years ago, but Shinseki got in trouble for saying something to that effect, that our gas prices should be more in line with Europe's gas prices, so that people.
Well, they never found his body, right?
Let them pay.
They never found his head after that.
Oh my God, yeah. No, I didn't like that.
I
either.
thought General Shinseki was with the fucking Veterans Administration, but he's another guy.
No,
Who's
no, that's him.
Oh,
Shinseki,
he
yeah,
was the guy who
yeah.
drove down the veterans. Okay.
Well, no, I don't think anybody could have. I mean, that's a little bit of a different issue. I don't mean to change this. I don't think anybody could have improved the VA.
Okay.
But Shinseki has done a couple of things that, he was in Bosnia, and he did a pretty good job over there, and then he got some publicity because he was the one who said 2000 and I think it was 2003 run up to the invasion of Iraq, and he said, "Oh, we'll need far more troops than 100,000 troops." Remember that?
Oh, okay. And then they jumped on his case.
Yeah, they jumped on his ass for that. And then he said we should raise gas prices.
And it's so funny. He said, "Okay, you could be charged as a VA."
Yeah.
Stopped him. Oh man. Well, okay. Everybody's got to have money, right? A little bit of money when they go out.
Yeah.
They can't just live on credit cards alone, can they?
I mostly do, actually.
Like no cash whatsoever. The cashless society.
I don't bring too much cash with me, honestly. Yeah.
You always choose to pay with that mark on your hand.
No,
Mark on your forehead.
Yeah, that would be great, but no. I mean, I find credit cards are more convenient to me. I don't know, but more useful.
What's wrong?
I mean, that's not bad if you pay off your credit card every month, or else you're getting hit with all that interest.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't like to carry too much cash myself, and I always don't carry. I don't put cash in my wallet with my other stuff. I always keep them separate.
You don't put cash in your wallet.
No, I have cash in my pocket and my cards and my driver's license in the other pocket. I don't want to lose all of it at once.
All right.
That's
That's the first time I ever heard that one.
No, I don't. I don't even carry a wallet, really. I don't.
You don't carry a wallet?
No, okay. I have the cash and then I have my cards. My whatever. I have my driver's license,
cell phone.
Well, there's some people that
carry
wallets because they have their phones. Their phones actually.
Yeah, all their wallet now. Yeah.
I didn't know that. So the phone's a wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to the store and more people are doing that. The phone is actually becoming just a super handy device. You can pay stuff, you can watch TV, you can talk on the phone, you can do almost anything with a phone.
I had to get one of those.
I really don't like the
carry
idea.
a crack whore and have them hold your money. But anyway, sorry.
I personally do not like the idea of going to a store, using a debit card or for all these transactions. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's an invasion of my privacy, noting every transaction I take, as well as you're just, then you get all the marketing, attributed to all your transactions. You're getting flooded with that kind of stuff as well. So, I mean, if I go shopping, it's cash. Gas, it's cash,
That's good. Lindsay, you there? Honey?
Yes, I'm here with my sister.
Oh, good. 2 for 1. All right, let me ask you something, girls. You love guys with cash, right? With bucks?
I hate white men. I hate white males.
You hate white males.
Men.
With even tons of cash. Let's change their mind, Tommy, please.
What are you doing here?
Change the women's mind right now. We're going to show you what white males are all about, honey. There you go. It's called cash. Okay, you're 2 girls that don't like guys with cash.
It's not about money.
It's not about money. What's it about?
When I look into the future, I see myself with a woman, not a man.
Money.
About a woman with money. You want a woman with money?
Well, I would like a woman that could support me, yes, but I can support
How about a
myself.
hermaphrodite?
How about a hermaphrodite with a bunch of wad of cash, huh?
Yes.
I can support myself. I am an independent woman right now who can support herself.
Okay, do you
I
feel
don't
like
need anyone else to support me.
Well, that's very admirable, Lindsay, but don't you feel you're like in the minority of women? Most women want dudes with cash.
Yeah, my mom is with a guy that has cash, but she's thinking about dumping him because he's getting verbally abusive.
Just get a whip.
Get more cash.
Now, isn't that the thing that most women want? It's security, and part of that is a man who has a stable job and who can,
I need all those I
give
can
him a
get.
sense of security, safety.
Well, I know for me to get with
a say something.
I want a non-idiot. How about that?
A non-idiot. Okay, so as much money as I have won't make me a non-idiot?
Well, if you're fucking dumb and annoy me, I can't handle you.
I'm super dumb, and I am super annoying, but I got a lot of cash.
Dumb! Oh my god.
Yeah, Bunto, you're not dumb. Everyone says that you're smart.
All right.
Broke, but I'm a broke ass. Okay, you'd rather be with the smart broke ass than the dummy with
well, you can train the smart broke ass to make money. You can't train the dumb person to be not dumb if they can't figure it out.
You'll heal up, Bunto.
But I think you won't mind the dumb person that much, ladies, if he has like $500 in cash all the time.
$500
so
isn't
dumb.
that much money. Try $2,000.
How does he
Okay,
get
$2,000. Okay, I'm living back in the '80s with the $500. It's more like $2,000. Okay, Pyong.
Lord. urge.
To swing to swing a lady, you got to have cash, right?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I thought that's what you told me, that you had a bunch of cash and that's how you swung all the hotties.
No, at the time, yes, I did, but it was more about, like, I guess maybe that's right, but it's not, yeah, I guess
that's right.
I mean, but I did, it wasn't like I was like, hey, honey, I have a lot of money. It was just the way that I had a lot of disposable income, so I could buy a lot of drinks and all that kind of stuff. That's really what it was all about.
Being generous is one of your virtues.
Yeah, tipping the bartender, tipping the coat lady.
Right.
It's addictive.
Making friends. I think it's I think it's far more useful to just be nice to girls, to if you're trying to pick them up or whatever.
Are you guys talking about eating on a lady, or just keep going with a lady?
Did you say
eating?
Did you say eating on a lady?
Eating on a lady.
Yeah.
Eating on a lady.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
I heard eating on the lady. I don't know what they do
Don't you
there,
guys?
but
Don't you guys hit on ladies?
It's like Japanese.
you gotta show me how to do that.
Oh God. Oh,
You got a video?
It's something we learned from the Japanese. Remember how they always sleep on mats, so we eat off the ladies.
There's some restaurants like that.
I've heard of using their noggin for a beer holder.
No, okay, look.
Yeah, but there is a difference between making a first impression and maintaining your impression on the lady.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because if you want to make a good impression, the best thing ever. There are two things actually. It's either a puppy or a small children.
No, he's serious. He's absolutely serious.
You guys have no fucking idea. If you're laughing, you have no fucking idea.
Hey, he's Italian. He knows what he's talking about, guys.
When my first child was born, I usually went out with the kid, with the strap. You put it on front, and you will never believe how many girls stopped me, and want to chat. And the same thing happened when I had small puppies, small German shepherds. You go ahead. There is nothing better than that. It blows Ferraris, Aston Martins, good suits out of the water. Go with a puppy.
But if you have a small child, isn't the lady assuming now you're married already?
Yeah, you're harmless.
No, you're fertile. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's right. It's fertile, and they never know. I mean, so they want to ask, "Oh, is it your pup? Is it your children?" First of all, because it might be my brothers. They don't know.
Okay.
It's the best thing. It's either that or a puppy. Forget Ferraris, forget Porsche, Aston Martin, stuff like that. There is.
How about a sense of humor?
I agree with you 100% because when I'm out with my son, man, the girls just come up and just start talking.
Yes, it's a
crazy.
cheap magnet. Yeah.
Yeah, but how many girls have you had sex with based on you met them with your son?
Listen, I'm gonna say this, and not just because it's live. I had more problems declining.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm going to start a business, rent a child.
I don't know if that'd go down so good, Brother John. I'd be thinking hard to win that one.
I'm sorry, Fabio. I initially laughed because I thought you were referring to giving them as gifts. Puppies or children as gifts.
Oh, no.
I think puppies are terrible gifts.
Puppies and a boy, that's all right.
Yeah.
Got it.
But it's right. I mean, Green has been there, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. I don't have puppies, but
it gives them an excuse to be sweet to you. They can come up and pet your puppy. It gives them an excuse to be nice. People need a plausible reason not to be, too friendly, and if you have a puppy, they can be friendly to you.
Yeah.
Good point, yeah.
Give you something to talk about,
Exactly. and it's cute. So the defenses normally they go down, but it happens to everybody. It happens to all of us. I mean, if you see a nice puppy, a nice kitten, you go there and you want to ask the name, and how old is he? It's a good icebreaker, and it makes people really sympathetic to the object. So yeah.
Oh,
And
they see that you're a caretaker.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They see that you care, so you are,
sensitive.
yes.
You're one of us. One of us.
It's an emotional investment that you say, okay, this guy is solid because eventually, yeah.
Okay, maybe it'll be easy to rent puppies out then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're way
Well,
cheaper.
one of
In
the
the long
things you
run,
could do,
living
you
is cheaper.
could
cheaper,
get a job as a mentor.
Just put them on the back of the menu. Just don't front bill the boys. Yeah, that's it.
How about a
All
sense
right.
of humor? It seems that women are attracted to men with a sense of humor.
Yeah, because it shows wit and intelligence to have a sense of humor.
Yeah, but you don't get laid.
I love it. Okay.
It's like I don't know if it happens to you when you go outside. There is a guy playing the guitar. Everybody is attracted. He's the guy which is not getting laid. You sing or you make them laugh, and then they get laid with the other guy. I don't know.
Well, it's in
story of my life.
it's just not within itself. Like it's a good quality to have with something else. You can't just be
The thing
funny.
is, if you know a friend which is funny, and you can go out with the friend, so he
What
makes
the
you
heck?
laugh,
We're
and
not
eventually
getting
you get
laid here.
laid.
If you,
No,
if you,
I disagree. We are not getting laid here, us ladies.
Well, I was gonna ask, how do I get laid?
It's not all about the guy getting laid. It's all about the woman getting laid. I have the vagina. It's all about me.
I have the mouth. It's all about me.
Okay, so I mean, okay. If everything besides cash, how do I get laid? I mean,
come on around, Bunto. I got a parking spot.
I think it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
They have a pill
Okay,
for that.
I can get a T-shirt making. I'm ready. I get a T-shirt, or I can just go, "Hey, I'm ready to get laid."
Hey,
I have
there
to
it is.
broadcast, right, Frank?
Just be nice. Like, care about the ladies. They love that. They
I
just
care a
love
lot about. I haven't been laid in like 20 years, so
That's
I mean, how do I
okay.
get laid?
Just treat them like a little sister, and once they sense that you won't jump their bones at the first time they happen to bend over, they just they'll start.
No, that's going to be really hard, Tommy. Really hard.
I know.
Bunto, I
But
thought you played for the other team.
What?
I thought you played for the other team.
I played for the other team. No, well, it's like this. I was just talking
the manager.
figuratively. I get laid at the gym all the time, Brojo, but I'm trying to say how to get laid by girls who appreciate my intelligence. See, it just doesn't happen. They appreciate my sexual acumen, but they don't appreciate my intelligence.
oh, hey, watch out! It's coming. It's coming, Bunto.
The fairy gets laid. Okay, look. How does a guy get laid, Lindsay and Alex? Please.
We talked to him.
This is the strangest question I've ever heard.
I know, this is a strange question.
Well, okay, you guys get laid all the time, right?
Well, she was answering. What were you saying, Alex? I'm taking notes here.
Could you say
When he
slower?
invites me over, comes and picks me up because he will have a vehicle because I have a fucking vehicle. I drive,
Okay.
so
I gotta get a car. Good.
All you need is a car?
he might give me a drink, or we might chill out, watch movies, hang out, talk, do normal stuff, and then
I have
he'll
to talk
drive
to
me
you.
home.
Okay.
And then we'll
Take
do
it
it a couple
back.
more times, and then we might have sex. Because, I don't know, sex with strangers is a little weird.
Axe
Okay.
spray.
A drink in a
They want
van.
to put their sexing, they want to put their sex parts where my brain lives. Like, come on.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Sounds like a straightforward plan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, Frank, it's so easy to get laid, right?
I can't answer that.
Well, Frank, you just said I already.
Oh,
Frank's married.
Yeah, I can't talk about that stuff.
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about that
Mom,
stuff,
what's
right?
that?
And I can't talk about that stuff either.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
so that's what I gotta do. I gotta hand over my balls, and then I can get laid. You cannot talk about that.
That's good.
If you go in a place and you want to get laid,
Oh, there you go. Fabio, man, you're the man, bro. They're coming in.
Oh, she's my wife, actually.
Oh,
I thought you had to start whispering.
which one?
But yeah, if you go in a place and you want to get laid, you will never get laid. The first thing is that you must have your desire down, and you got to be a little bit mysterious. Don't jump. I mean, if you jump on every woman, you will never get laid. They are strangely attracted by the one which seems to not give a shit about them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't start humping their leg. You know, it doesn't help.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that I'm thinking about, they don't like people who are needy, like men who are, they want somebody independent. It's not that they don't care, but it's just like if you're too attachy, then that's just a turn-off.
Okay, now Green seems to be my alter ego. I'll make you a question. I presume you're married. I mean, you got the children, so I presume you're married. Okay, this is my question, because this is what happened to me. Have you had more chances after you got married to get laid or before? I mean, meaning a girl which they were more attracted to you.
Actually, it's been about the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's I don't know. I never really observed that, but yeah, it comes and goes. I don't know. A lot of my friends told me that they got people came up to them more when they were married.
Yeah, that's my experience too. That's why I was asking.
And I think the reason why it's been the same for me is because I don't wear my wedding ring.
I don't. Yeah, I don't either. But I think it's more an attitude.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me. Because when you wear your wedding band,
Is there something in the human behavior that people want something that they can't have?
That's part of it, but I think it's more about establishment, or a sense of, all right, this guy has his shit together. He has a house, has kids, has a car, is working, is stable, and I think women are attracted to that.
Yeah, it's either that or you're not spewing hormones every step you make.
Yeah, you're not seeking. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
But I was never really like a big seeker like that. I see what your point. Like some guys just running. They like that. Smooth. Know what they're doing. Seems to have that independence, I guess.
Confidence.
Yeah. Okay, you think it has something to do? You think it has something to do with the male, right? It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that the woman wants to outdo your wife.
No, because what I was trying to describe, happens to me, and they don't even know that I'm married. I wear no ring, but I've experienced what Green was saying before about his friends. I think it's because of the fact that if you're married, you know already that if you want to have sex, I mean, you have your wife anyway. I mean, that you love her, so you are in a way satisfied on that level. And you can be more, as Green said, more smooth, more yourself. And I experienced that this attracts women more. But it's a dog chasing the tail, because if you don't already have that, you're seeking for that. And the moment you got it, you're not seeking, but you get it. It's fucked up.
Well, but think about it this way too: is that when there's intimacy, if a person's too anxious or rushed, they're not going to be able to perform as well as a person that's calm.
Yeah.
When you're calm and you're cool and you're relaxed, hey, the intimacy is much greater. So that's the thing. That's one of the things that I think, maybe subconsciously they know. Like it's that is another part of the attraction too. It's like.
Well, I was thinking the public metro. public bathrooms. But look, Pyong, we need to think that we're married, right? And that breaks it through. I mean, I feel my wife will really get upset at me for fooling around, lady, but in reality, I'm not even married, right? But at work, I think I'm married.
I don't know, man. I have no intention of getting married, but I think that when those guys were talking, when Green and Fabio were talking about that stuff, I think a lot of that stuff is true. Like when I was in that situation, I was telling Bunto I used to go to this particular bar called the Redhead Piano Bar in the city, and that was like my hangout, and I had pretty good luck in there as a single guy. But I guess that I was confident, I was very engaging, I wasn't desperate, so I think all of those had to do with what was going on. So no, I don't think it's necessary to be married. As a matter of fact, the characteristics that Fabio was expressing were exclusive of his marital status, because he said that they didn't know he was married.
Yeah.
No, I know, but Fabio
I
knew
was,
that he was married.
I was saying married, but a stable relationship will do the same.
The marriage allowed Fabio confidence.
Yeah, but that's prophetic in a way, isn't it, Fabio? Because of course nothing was consummated while you were married, right?
No. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so.
And again, I said married just because I asked the question to Green, but you can substitute it with a stable relationship. I think it would work either way. I mean, it does. I mean, let me put it this way: if you go outside with a T-shirt, okay, which says organ donor. If you are in a relationship, I mean, it will mean actually organ donor. That you want to give your organs. If you are not in a relationship and you are seeking women, that means another organ that you want to donate. You see what I mean? The attitude is different.
Kidney thieves.
Oh God.
All right. Okay. Look, guys.
Well, how about the theory when, if you're going out to a bar or club or something like that, and you go with an attractive woman, she could be your friend, right?
Right.
I mean, a woman's gonna be more attractive, not to the guy who's just there by himself, but maybe with, he's with a good-looking woman or two. They tend to, what's he got? He's got this good-looking woman. They might be drawn to that.
Money.
You've heard that theory before, right?
Or he's gay.
What?
I had a friend who would this was a little bit, I don't know, I really didn't consider, I wouldn't do it, but I didn't consider the morality of it, but he would never leave a girl until he had a new girlfriend lined up. So
that makes sense.
That was he really believed in what you were talking about, Brojo.
Okay, look, I was going to ask all the guys in here, is it important to be attractive? Like, a woman dolls herself up when she goes out in public, tries to look really attractive. I mean, is that even important for men? Or just, we don't even have to worry about attractiveness. Anyone?
Well, I can't change my face, and I'm not going to wear makeup, but I did wear, I always try to wear nice shoes.
Well, you wear like $1,000 suit every time you go out now. Right? I mean, you're a sharp-dressed man. A sharp-dressed man when you have class when you go out.
Yeah, I had a mentor who was a really well-dressed guy. He was a prick, but he was a really well-dressed guy, so he taught me how to, match my shoes and my belt and pick shirts and stuff. I'm serious.
Was it fun? It was fun to do?
This sounds like a ZZ Top video.
Yeah. I mean, well, that video, it had a lot of gravitas to it. Don't you think? Sharp-dressed man, because every girl was about a sharp-dressed man.
It's true, though.
Dress for success.
Keep in mind that then a sharp dress and having class are two different things.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
True.
I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But
I
would always go ahead.
Like Italian wise guys, aren't they always class, sharp dressed?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. Well, some of them I think they do, but I mean, you see stuff on the road which is absolutely abysmal. Like people which doesn't know that you got to match your tie to your socks.
That's right.
Match the socks.
No. Actually, it is true. I mean, that's the way you got to go. You got to match your tie to your socks. And people go out, and I've seen people with I don't know, 3,000 euros Armani suits with socks and ties which didn't match. I mean, this guy might be sharply dressed, but he has got no class at all. So
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Fabio. In Italy, if you're a sloppy male, they give you hell for it, right?
yeah, it's kind of a no-no. Yeah.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. It's part of the culture, I think. But yeah, honestly, I mean, you see other people which is really badly dressed still, but I think people notices it a lot more. And yeah.
Well,
But
Italian society has a lot more class than America, wouldn't you say?
no, no. It's not class. We might have, and I'll give you that. We might have a different sense of how do you call it? It's not style, but it's no,
Fashion.
it's
Taste. Italians have better taste than any American, hands down.
no, it's a different aesthetics. That's what I was looking for. It is different, and I think that honestly, it comes up from the fact that I mean, I live the small town I live in. It really doesn't have too much things to watch, but I can ride half an hour and I can go in a small medieval city, and you have paintings, you got statues. So
Sophistication.
you grow up with a different sense of aesthetics, and I think that reflects in the way you dress and the way you do stuff. I think that's fairly true. It's like being, brainwashed in a good way since you're a child. So you grow up with that.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Green. Italy has Gothic cathedrals. We have Pizza Hut.
I don't even know where to go.
You go to Pizza Hut or Papa John's or
Well,
Mr. Daddy's or what?
Are you talking and referring to class?
What's a Jersey guy like you go for class pizza?
Class pizza? Oh, I go to a certain city, a certain spot.
You can go ahead and tell us. We won't,
Yeah, it's called Broadway Pizza in Patterson. It's been there since I was born. And the same guy is still there. Best pizza I've ever had.
You ever been to Italy?
No, I haven't, but I would love to go, but
I've got room to spare, so when
yeah, but the problem, Fabio, if I go to Italy, I might not come back because I might just stay there.
Yeah,
I always had
that
that
eventually
fear.
becomes your problem,
I say, all right, it's time to go back to Jersey. No, I think I'll just stay.
I can cover you for about a month or two.
That's awesome.
So, Frank, does Jersey have as much class as Italy?
I've never been to Italy, so I wouldn't know.
So how can I say? Yeah.
Well, we had St. Paul's Cathedral and, Trenton.
I would love to visit Italy myself.
So we have a lot of things in Jersey that are very beautiful. It's a very beautiful
Better than
state.
Italy?
Again, I've never been to Italy, but I've seen pictures and it looks beautiful. But I would like to go there to experience it.
Are American women as beautiful as Italian women?
Well, the women that I met here are like gorgeous, like literally gorgeous.
In New Jersey?
Yeah. Beautiful women.
Brojo, do you like European women?
Yeah, yeah. I've had a couple of Italian girlfriends, and yeah, loved them. I tend to like, also darker skin.
Or you like our Barbie dolls?
No. You mean like the blonde and...
Right.
Nah.
Okay, you like Kardashian?
Olive complexion, dark, long hair, That's...
Okay, long hair.
Dark.
With me, I really don't have like a strong preference, because I did women who were very slim. I did some women that were pretty, kind of big. But however, it's like the way they carry themselves, I think, and intelligence was really big with me. Like if I'm able to have a conversation and have fun, that was a big, turn on. You know,
I thought
I
most
went
important
out
thing
with a
for
girl. No, I went out with a girl that she was beautiful, but there was nothing there. After 2 days, I just stopped.
Oh, really?
I didn't care. Yeah, I said I can't.
I thought the most important thing for Italian women was the ability to cook.
Well, that
Yeah,
too.
good luck
Like
with
any
that.
special quality, yeah.
Good
Fuck you, Bunto. Fuck you.
Well, Italian women, Lindsay.
No die. The ability for a woman to cook.
No, Italian.
Italian women. That's
It
one of their
doesn't
most
matter.
important
They
facets.
should be able to
Italian,
make delicious
Japanese.
spaghetti and meatballs. Mmm.
Spaghetti and
Sorry, I-
meatballs.
Fuck you.
Dreaming about
Ragu
What
sauce.
makes
Okay,
you cook?
can we? Sorry, can we just take this out of the water? Meatballs is not an Italian dish. This drives me. It drives me to the wall. Everybody
No,
in
you
the
never
US
said
thinks
Italian.
spaghetti meatballs is Italian. It is not.
Nor is spaghetti, right?
Sorry,
Oh,
no,
wow.
spaghetti. They are spaghetti, but you will not find an area in Italy where they have a regional recipe with spaghetti and meatballs. It
So
just
where are the meatballs?
Sorry.
Well, when we show up in Italy, Florence, right? Where are the meatballs here? There's no meatballs in
Yeah.
my spaghetti. Come on.
I thought meatballs
Absolutely.
were Swedish.
Oh, you rolling
Oh,
anything good there, Fabio?
Sorry.
You rolling anything good there? I see you rolling up.
No, it's just tobacco. It's cigarettes.
So, Brojo, you're Italian, right?
Yes, I'm half Italian, Sicilian.
So, cooking is a big matter,
Oh
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
Important?
yeah. And my wife, who is not Italian, she's African American actually, but she's a great cook.
Oh, yummy.
Oh,
Okay, Lindsay, what were you saying that I'm just too sexist for demanding a woman to cook?
I don't know. You're just so confusing. Like, oh, yeah, I'm gay, but I want a girlfriend.
Because I want to cook. I want some good food.
Why don't you
I
feel
got with it because of the
to learn
food.
how to cook?
Okay, look, I'm not going to lead a woman on by demanding meatballs or anything like that, but nice skill to have.
I would just like to say,
Why don't you get a good friend? Like, I'll come over and cook a meal for you.
That's called polylove, dear. You want me to be polyamorous?
I'm not gonna love you like you're my lover. I'll love you as a friend.
Well, I mean, after the first meal, we can talk about it.
I actually have a friend that's gay.
Oh, you have one friend who's gay, Green? Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
one. But I don't get out.
you want him to hook
much,
you up?
This guy,
Why not? There's one gay in this town.
Literally, this guy is the best cook, man, I have ever
Oh, really?
tasted. It's amazing. Like, I get close to this dude. It's like, I'll live with this guy. I want to have sex with him. Like, man, this guy could freaking cook, man.
Man, that steak was good, honey.
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, what about you and me, man?
That was some good ribs, darling.
I can't
We'll have
believe how
we'll
good
have
this
sex
guy
with
could
food.
cook. Just the sex part that we can't do, but definitely then,
Okay, well, let me ask you this. The thing that came to my mind, okay, he's gay and he's a good cook, right? Is there any sort of, what's it called? Attenuation there? Is there some sort of like, the more gay he is, the better the food tastes, or what?
I don't know. I have no clue, man. Yeah, but he's a freaking good-ass cook, man. That's all I know.
Well, shit, cooking. Lindsay laughed. Poor Lindsay. I love her.
I think Truth Cracker wanted to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Truth.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I was just going to say, like, I've been out with women because they can cook, and I've stayed with them because they can cook. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
I don't know. I adore women, and I also adore the ability to cook. I think it's good. Women knows how to cook. I haven't met a woman yet that doesn't know how to cook. Have you guys met a woman that is totally clueless in the kitchen?
Yes.
My wife. Yeah. It took my wife a couple of years before she actually could figure out how to fucking cook.
Well, she wanted to learn.
She needed to learn.
I love Fabio. I love Italy.
No, I mean, yeah, she will probably starve to death.
Okay, well, how did you broach it to her? Did you say, honey, this you got to learn how to cook? Or
No. I didn't broke it. I just cooked for 2.5 years at the beginning and say, listen, this is how we do stuff. This is the way it's supposed to be working.
Okay, mentor.
This is supposed to be tasting, and they should taste like that, like a pile of shit.
Man, that's hardcore. All right. Pyong, are you there?
I'm getting a call. Be right back.
Have you ever taught a woman how to cook?
No, I haven't.
You could though, right?
I guess. I mean, I'm not a slouch necessarily in the kitchen, but I'm not awesome at it. I have certain things that I cook as a bachelor. You kind of have to, But
have you ever had a woman cook for you?
Oh yeah.
And did you criticize it like Fabio? This is a pile of shit, honey.
No. I always try to be a little bit positive,
Okay, if the woman had to cook something for you that you would judge her cooking, what would it be? Would it be fish? Would it be meat? Pasta? Vegetarian?
Oh, whatever she wanted to cook.
If she cooked you a vegetarian meal, would you be like, get out of here?
No, not at all. No. I've had some excellent Indian vegetarian cuisine.
Okay.
So yeah, no.
But if it was like a salad, okay, honey, I cooked you a salad. Here you go.
Totally fine too. Whatever.
Really, you wouldn't criticize that. You wouldn't say,
No.
Maybe something a little bit more intricate.
No, not unless I mean, if something was really wrong with it.
Well, I mean, a salad. How hard is a salad, Pyong?
Right, exactly. But I'd wait for her to say so first.
Cooking is actually an art.
Yep.
That's something, and usually the best chefs are men. Not to say women can. I tasted food from women and that was spectacular, but I think cooking is something very I should say spiritual. Something that you have to, you just don't cook, with your hands. Or you cook.
Okay, are you a better cook than your wife?
Yes, I am. Yeah,
Well,
I'm very. I pay attention to detail, really, And when I cook, I take my time. I say I don't rush things. So I think that's why the food that I cook, it turns out better.
Okay, if you had the dough, would you send her to cooking school, culinary, a couple culinary classes?
No. No, I don't know anything about chef school. I'm sure it's important, but I think that's something that you could actually learn on your own.
Okay, like she could watch YouTube and learn, from watching YouTube.
Yeah, but even that, you just gotta have some. I think you have to have grace, with cooking.
Grace with cooking.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to explain it.
Is cooking like martial arts?
I think so.
What do you think, Pyong? Cooking is like martial arts where you learn balance?
Well, there are certainly basic techniques that you need to rely on, like knife work and
you could defend yourself.
Huh?
You could defend yourself by learning how to cook.
Wasn't there like a Steven Seagal movie?
Where he's a chef? Oh,
he was a chef. Yeah, he's a chef in the Navy.
They took over the boat.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was actually a movie.
Okay, look, it's an art. Frank said it was an art, so we have to treat it like the martial arts.
If you want to, that's fine. I thought more about like painting, but sure, why not?
Well, it is. I guess I would agree with that in a certain way that it is like expression. Like when you were asking me what would she have to cook or whatever. Yeah, I would never dictate what she has to cook because she's got what she likes. She has what she knows. And it is a lot like expression, kind of like Lindsay's poems or writing a story or whatever.
One of the movies I definitely recommend, and I've seen this with my kid, is Ratatouille.
Oh, the rat movie?
I've
Yeah,
never seen that one.
that is an excellent movie. About a rat that cooks, and it kind of explains the whole, the cooking concept. And it's an excellent.
Let's see if I can get a copy.
Definitely, I recommend to watch.
Well, guys, I'm going to have to caretake right now, but it was good talking to you. I'll see you all a little later on. Take care.
Bye, Bunto.
Bye-bye.
All right, but- Yeah, I gotta leave in 10 minutes. I'm actually in IKEA today.
Wow.
I'm actually I want you guys to look at this.
I feel your pain.
I'm actually using a desk in IKEA.
Have you read about that guy which actually lived a couple of days in IKEA? I think it was in the US.
Really?
No.
Yeah. The article went that the first night he slept there by chance. He stepped onto a bunk bed and just laid down and he fell asleep and nobody realized he was it. And when he woke up, the shop was closed. So he said, what the fuck? I keep sleeping as you do. And then he said, I wonder how much time I can live in here. So he went to the restaurant and he spent another night. And the third day, I think they realized it was something fishy, so they just move him out of the shop. But he lived 2 days into an IKEA.
IKEA is like Barnes and Nobles. Nobody's gonna bother you here.
Yeah.
You go to sleep in the bed. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually using their desk. I've been here for 2 hours, and nobody says shit. But it's kind of cool because I'm like a prop. I'm actually using the furniture, so they're gonna I could look like that, Actually, I'm doing IKEA a favor. I think they should pay me for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If you could find a link for that, I think I do want to read that. I wonder if that's a common thing too.
I don't know. Hold on a second, guy.
I've had IKEA raids from time to time, in Australia, right? You go into these stores and they're huge. It's a massive car park. There's this huge line. And when I was living in the UK, this guy was from Norway. He actually had dreams about killing people in IKEA. He actually had these fucking crazy, massive lines, and he used to do up houses and stuff like that. And I didn't quite. He was very late here in Australia, but yeah, I'm glad that I decided to start talking about killing people because that makes me seem kind of fucking normal.
Especially when we're live.
Okay, I'm posting 2 links. The first one is the guy which lived 2 days in IKEA, but I found another one. It seems to be a Chinese children. He spent 6 days into an IKEA in China. So,
wow.
Yeah, 12-year-old.
Okay.
He ran from his home because he hadn't done his homework, and he got into an IKEA and he spent 6 days into that. Which is even more impressive because I wonder how the fuck did he manage to what did he eat? I mean,
well, IKEA is so affordable because they have free breakfast here at Mondays. You could actually go on Mondays. There's free breakfast, and their kids eat for free on Tuesdays. So there's so much. I could get a slice of pizza, and they sold it for $2.50. I could get. It's so affordable. Not only that, you bring your kids here. There's an hour daycare for free while you're shopping. So it's like IKEA is like the most family-friendly department store ever that I have ever seen. It's so convenient. Yeah. But the furniture sucks, though.
The good thing about sorry, go ahead.
No, please keep going.
The good thing about IKEA is that the prices I'm sorry. Go ahead. There is a little bit of delay. I'm sorry.
No, I'm enjoying it. I was just trying to do a filler. I'm enjoying the whole conversation, so please keep going.
Yeah, I was saying that the really good thing about IKEA is that the stuff is so cheap that you can buy stuff and not have a lot of remorse. You know, when you go outside, you buy a lot of crap and say, "Oh, I bought a lot of crap." You buy a lot of crap anyway, but it's so cheap that you say, "Yeah, it's a lot of crap." But
It's IKEA is great if you're a minimalist.
yes.
Yeah. The only thing I would not buy from IKEA is drawers. Would not do that. Because the history has been a disaster. If you're gonna get drawers, you have to get good quality. But other than that, everything's on the table. I even got like a tool set from IKEA, and I've been using it ever since, and it was very practical.
No, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a great store, but the one in Chicagoland is on the other side of the suburbs from me, so it would be a tremendous drive. I actually have been there a few times, but I don't frequent there.
Well, definitely, it would be practical for me to work near an IKEA, but I never got the opportunity to. But if I did, I will save so much money.
So you really like it.
Yeah, breakfast is like $1, and there's free refills. So you basically you're set.
Sure. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe of turning the conversation to something a little bit more controversial, and I was trying to kind of work in a God angle. Around the world, right? I'm talking about IKEA. If you look at Sweden at the moment, they've got a very controversial immigration policy because basically, they're taking refugees in, so-called refugees, and they're experiencing a high level of crime, and the integration's not going as well as planned, and that's kind of split the demographics up in Sweden. If we're talking about sort of IKEA, it's a pretty weak intro into it. And I was just wondering, since this is a God chat, what role does God, if at all, have to do with immigration? I mean, are there sort of theological or biblical or some kind of Quran? I mean, how do people treat the outsider? There's always an outsider trying to come in. There's always a xenophobic fear, and there's also always a need to keep the tribe together. Does that have some kind of role to play in religion, and does that play out in modern day politics or modern day society?
See, yeah. I see what you're saying. Just really quickly, it's kind of hard to quantify a study like that. I think more so, it's more about the transition, thus looking different from one place to another. And a lot of times, I think, some of the people that are coming in, most likely coming from war-torn areas. I know in Sweden, I think there's a big Somali population. And to adjust, coming from especially from a hot place to a place that is very cold, is very different. I think that's like, I could just imagine myself that could be a culture shock. But I definitely would like to see studies, and it's kind of hard to actually quantify cultural beliefs or religious beliefs as causes of behavior, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
I don't know about that, actually. I mean, I think you can quantify that.
Yeah, if you could show me studies, and definitely, because
I don't think you need studies to do that, right? I don't think you need studies. Like you can easily tell that if you get two people who are antithetical, there's going to be a problem. Like
I have to see. I have to see that. I definitely have to see that.
Well, I could give you an example. When people colonized, through imperialism, various cultures, it was my way or the highway. I mean, they're antithetical to each other. So if you didn't agree with it, you got killed. So that's an example. tribal wars, okay? You get two tribes together in Africa. They don't like each other. They kill each other, right? So, I mean, that's kind of how the world works. Like, you know, collectives try and basically get on top dog, at its most basic level. And that still goes on today. So anyway, I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm addressing a point or not. Maybe I'm just musing with my own thoughts. Did I say something wrong?
No, not at all. Sorry,
No, just
where
thinking
did
that.
I don't think
Bunto
so.
go? I'm sorry, just to sidetrack for a second. Where did Bunto go? I was away for a moment.
He
He
had to
left
do some
very quickly.
caretaking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's what he did? Oh, okay.
Hi, Lyrics. How you doing?
I'm here.
I definitely think, you know, I can't really say about, I can't really talk to your comments about Sweden, and I do agree with Green that, you know, assigning causation or to a particular belief is very difficult. But I would say that in my view of religion, I think it's absolutely essential that there be different groups. You know, that there's always this threat of religious dissociation, something that I think is common to many organized religions. You know, there are always heretics. There are always threats of excommunication and that sort of thing. So in one way, it might even add to the cohesion of the group. But I'm not sure if that's, you know, what's going on in Sweden. I just don't have enough information.
Well, I've actually been listening to a guy on Red Ice Radio, Red Ice. Well, I don't know, like I said, I didn't know fuck all about Sweden, and I've been listening to his podcast. He's got like 2-hour podcasts. The first hour is free, and you've got to sign up for the second hour. I've never done that. And basically, it's a bunch of alternative thinkers, mostly based around immigration and around the idea that the people in Sweden want to preserve their culture and their heritage. You know, they want to basically, Sweden used to keep out of all the wars, you know, so, for hundreds of years, right? So they just had this sort of society that just kept going on and on and on. But more recently, they've been overtaken by this leftist idea that we need to all accept immigrants into the country. And it's created a lot of conflict there, but it's being suppressed. Like the conflict's being suppressed, the numbers being suppressed. So things like Red Ice Radio, and there's actually parties in Sweden, mostly made up of people who remembered Sweden how it used to be, who just wanted to go back to the way that it was. And they're all being shouted down by people with politically correct words like you're a racist, basically it's mostly racist. You're saying you're racist. If you want Sweden to be for Swedish people, you're racist. And you know, I keep listening to these podcasts, and I think that's a very unfair criticism. I think that they have a right to have their own country, you know, in the way that they want. They've built it, they've made it, they have a heritage. Their ancestors built it, and you know, they have a right to their own culture. They've generously taken in people who they thought were, you know, less advantage, and it's not working out. So I just find it's very hard to have this kind of discussion with anyone. It seems like if you try and bring this kind of point up, you know, everyone's kind of pre-programmed to say, well, you know, you can't do that. That's wrong. Well, I don't think it is wrong. I think that we have a real issue here. If whenever in my mind I feel like I shouldn't say something because I'm worried about what people will think, that's the time I like to speak. I think if I had been living like in an era of highly religious sort of dominance, God, do you actually know that there's a God? And everyone, oh, you're a heretic, blah blah. So I think it's important to investigate areas that we're told that we're not allowed to go in, because that's just well, I think it's dangerous to have a society, you know, that says there's no-go zones.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I've seen a couple of things on BBC World. I've seen some about Sweden and what's going on over there, and some other places too are having immigration issues like that. But I personally don't have much information on it. You know, Haynes, have you ever talked to him? He's from Sweden.
No, I've been on this chat I think once before. I keep meaning to come back, but I'll certainly be back again. You guys are a lot of fun. So
okay, go ahead.
No, I don't. I just said I'll probably come back again another time to this chat, but no, I don't know his name. So.
Yeah, if you see him hanging around, he just recently changed his avatar. He's a bearded man shooting a bow, a little short bow. So if you see him around, ask him. He's probably got some information on that.
Yeah, truth. I'm gonna go look into it. You know, I'm very data-driven, but definitely I do listen to commentarian opinions, and they're valid. So I'll definitely look into it. It's just that I don't know too much about it, like Pyong said.
I kind of agree with you, Truth Crackers, to a point. I do. I think that a culture has its right to exist, and I think that if a certain individual wants to come to a said culture, they kind of have to assimilate. Otherwise, what's the point of going to a different culture? I mean, if it's just for opportunity, I can understand that. But if you go to a country that has opportunity available for you, it just seems to me the best that you could do would be to try to follow the laws and get along with everyone as best as you can. Not necessarily make your own rules up to take advantage of the system, but I'm not saying like illegal or anything like that, but I'm just saying culturally, the cultural system. If it's wrong for, say like, we'll use an extreme example, and if an extremist Muslim came to America and tried to enact Sharia law, that would probably not be the best thing to do. We would like them. Hold on, buddy. We would like them to assimilate, at least for the most part, to our culture, besides religious beliefs. But when you try to impose that kind of stuff onto other people, then I have a problem with it. That's why I like America.
I mean, yeah, you're right in a way. I think the problem that Truth was raising is it's a little bit different around here because most of those immigrants, they're not choosing to go in a country or the other because of the opportunities. They're choosing to flee from their own country, and they land ashore, any place they can. So it's not exactly. They're not exactly thinking, going through all the process. Okay, where is the country that gives me more possibilities? No. They're just running away from guys shooting at them. So,
well, that's actually not the Australian experience. We have an experience where people move from Iran, Afghanistan. And look, I have a real problem with our foreign policy to start with. I think that if we didn't create all these wars around the world, they'd actually stay in their own country and they'd live there happily. So I actually think the solution to the immigration problem is to have a non-interventionist foreign policy. We don't go around fucking people up, right? But because we do, we have to deal with it, right? So we end up in this situation where people who are seeking asylum, so-called refugee status, a lot of them are actually economic refugees where they're going, look, you fucked my country up now. I'm part of the middle class. There is no way that a refugee just gets on a boat, even though they're horribly overcrowded and poor. The people on those boats are actually the middle class, or if you were rich, you'd stay in your country. But these people, the poor don't make it onto these boats. That's what I'm going to say. The peasant, they don't make it onto those boats. It's the middle class who get onto these boats, and they try and find a better life for themselves, and they are looking for a better life.
I'm sorry, I beg to differ. I mean, at least that's not the situation in Southern Europe. We had I think it was last week, 300 people died on a boat coming just short of the shores of Italy, and those people were not middle class at all.
Well, they would have had to pay money to get on that boat, right? Okay, because it's not free.
They pay money. They pay everything they have, and they leave people behind.
People in those societies are what you would call the middle class of their societies, okay? Because the poor people just don't get on the boat; they just stay there and die. in the country, right? So they don't have any money.
There's a
And the rich,
yeah, I'm sorry. My wife, she actually comes from a part of Afghanistan, and you know, they lost everything they had. When they came here, they were dirt poor, even though they were middle class. You know, and they had to start from scratch, really, and survive. It's not a easy. And even my, you know, my grandfather, you know, they came out of desperation, you know, and came over here with a whole bunch of kids and living on their one roof. You know, they were well off to do in their country, but as soon as they come to the United States, all bets are off. And luckily, you know, they were able to survive. But, you know, you hear time and time again how it's just horrible. Like the stories that I hear are traumatic. Like, you know, my wife tells me stories of when she had to flee, and seriously, it's like a freaking wartime movie. And you could tell, you could even tell by when they're telling the story, you could actually sense the trauma there. And it's just, it's hard. It's really hard. Like that's something that's not easy. I never experienced that, but I knew a lot of people, especially where I live. You have a cultural melting pot, which I benefited from, because I hear different stories, not just from Middle Eastern countries, but like from Russia, from South America.
Yeah.
And it's very heart-wrenching. You know, my dad never wanted to come here. You know, he wanted to stay where he was, and he was forced to move out. And ever since, he had this resentment. That,
yeah, well,
yeah, but you know, stories are different. But I trust me, man. If I didn't have to move, I would stay. But if I had to, it'd be hard, right? Yeah.
I guess what I was saying was I was trying to paint a picture of who these people are on these boats. They're not desperate, sort of poor people. They're actually the middle class who are fleeing different positions, because that's the only people who actually have the money to leave. Now, they may be poor by our standards, but by their own standards, they're people that could be the doctors, the lawyers, they could be the administrators. They're the people with the means to get out. Now, they go on these boats, and, like, you know, yeah, a lot of them sink because they, you know, whatever, but they're taking the risk. It's mostly men hoping to get to another country to then bring the women forward. There are some people who bring their wives, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them are just men hoping that, you know, they can establish themselves in a new country and then bring the people forward. It's a huge gamble, but it's gambles that they're taking because they think that it's better for their family. That's what I think.
Well, you know, the problem is, you know, and again, I speak from my experience, which, you know, doesn't make any sense. It is just my experience. The reason they're mostly men is that most of them, a lot of them, they just have to leave the family because they don't have the money to buy 2 tickets. And also there is the fact that even if they're middle class, and again, you know, my experience is different, but I'll go with your, with your idea. Even if they're middle class, I mean, they come from countries where, as Green said, if you have $2,000, you are middle class. Funnily enough, you know, that's the price of the ticket. So the moment they come ashore, they literally have no money, and I mean zero money. So they might start a middle class when they leave, and most of them don't, because they have to sell, you know, relatives and, you know, stuff in order to buy the ticket. The moment they jump on that boat and they're not sure they're getting there, the moment they land ashore, they have no money, and not a few money, zero money. So it's, you know, and that tells you, you know, how desperate you have to be to run away from those situations.
Well, I think I'm coming from an Australian perspective. Like, it's very hard to get to Australia. We're an island. You have to go across a long sea. You know, there's nothing. People travel from all around the world to get here. So, like, they go from Iran, they go down to Indonesia, and then eventually they get a boat to Australia. So it's premeditated. I mean, they want to come to Australia, right, for a better life, et cetera, et cetera. In Europe, immigration is very different because you've got all these countries there. You just got to walk across the border or you jump over a fence, you know. So the kind of immigration and the problems that you're having, you know, over there are different because it's much easier for people who really, you know, just whatever, man. Maybe they just think, well, the welfare system is good, so we're just going to jump the fence and live on the dole. Like, it's a lot easier. In Australia, it's pretty hard to get here, right? You have to, you know, it's very difficult to get to Australia. So,
no, I agree.
We have a different kind of immigration issue than you guys do. So
no,
I'm
absolutely. No, I totally agree. Keep in mind that when an immigrant comes in Europe, he doesn't have, you know, a health system, and he's not entitled to. So that's not their perspective. Their perspective is only, you know, to run away from war, you know, from people shooting at them. Keep in mind that it is not uncommon to see boats landing, you know, especially in Italy, because it's the, you know, it's the closest one to Africa. Most of them come, you know, start from Libya, but they feel, you know, boats. I don't know. We have seen 11 meters boat, wooden boats that are good for nothing, filled with, you know, 30, 35 people on board. It's just a short stretch. It's about 2 hours if you ever manage to go there, and it's not the Pacific Ocean. So it is really easy. I mean, people have done that with Zodiacs, you know, and nothing else. So and it's way more difficult, and that's another big problem because you cannot actually find those boats up until they land ashore. They don't show up on radars. I mean, they're very small. You cannot possibly get them.
Is your name Fabio? Is that you? Fabio.
Sorry?
Are you Fabio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Fabio. It's very Italian, right?
It is.
Okay, love it. I've been to Italy. I went to Roma, and just for a little while, and I went to Venice, and it's fantastic. The pizza there is so thin and lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I did a lot of good things to say about Italy, but yeah, I do honestly. I have a lot of good things to say about Italy, and I used to live in Melbourne too, which has wonderful Italian restaurants here in Australia. But going back to my point about immigration that I kind of brought up to start with, I kind of sound like, you know, a dialogue, like I'm kind of supporting immigration, which I am in a certain way, but only because I feel that if we didn't have the foreign interventionist policy that we do, we wouldn't dislocate people. So I think that we should probably take people who, you know, we have dislocated through wars, like Vietnam was a good example. In Australia, we took a lot of Vietnamese out of guilt, basically, for fucking the country up, even though we're fighting communism at the time. You know, so we took them in, it all worked out. But at the same time, if you go back to the issue of Sweden and other countries that are very monoculture, like take a culture like, say, the Japanese or the Chinese, very monoculture, right? You know, and you introduce a whole bunch of people into that population that, you know, are either antithetical or not there. If they don't want to assimilate, you actually end up with this idea of multiculturalism. And in my mind, the idea of multiculturalism sounds good in practice, but it doesn't actually work out. It sounds good in theory, but it doesn't work out in practice. And I'll give you an example. In England, in Rotterdam, there were 1,400, like 1,400 children, white children, raped, and they were put into sex rings by a bunch of Pakistani cab drivers, you know, who basically, you know, they're on the fringe of society, so they're doing these cab jobs. And they started out like taking these white girls because they thought that was you know, an easy target just for their own, you know, personal pleasure. And they're on the fringe, and no one cares. The welfare children are sluts, right? And then as it got on, they realised, well, this could be a business, so they started making a business out of it. And there were 4 or 5 separate reports onto this, but the reason they weren't investigated was because they were scared about political correctness and racism.
That is true. I've looked into this a lot, and for once, truth, you're telling the truth. No, I'm joking, but no, that is true. They are, and yeah, they are too they are kind of scared of being too sort of politically correct, and I mean, especially when you have 40% of rapes done by Pakistani men or Asian men. You know, it's they don't want to appear they don't want to appear kind of racist.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that that's a problem. I mean,
Is that racist?
that is a problem.
Really racist?
Well, yeah, they're Asian, so and by I'm using Asian in the English usage of the word. So if you're it's like I don't know. What's a good explanation for it? You could explain it, Truth. You could try and explain it.
Oh, sorry guys. I'm sorry. I gotta get going. But I'll check you guys out later. But I'm gonna look at some numbers, and if the discussion comes again, definitely I'd like to definitely talk about it. So guys,
All right. Bye, Green.
Hey, Frank. Thanks for stopping by.
no problem, man.
I'm just gonna take this opportunity. I'm gonna just shut off the live hangout for now. We'll continue off air if you want. If you want to introduce, invite anybody, be my guest. And I think I gave Lyrics mod, Hades. I'll give you mod as well. I gotta step off for a little bit. All right.
Nice. Yeah. Cheers,
Take
man.
care. I only got a little bit too, probably like a half an hour at the most.
All right.